Hi, I'm Alex. Welcome to my channel and to this movement breakaway for the spine today. We are going to be seated, and in just a moment we're going to dive into a little bit of breath work to seed into this movement practice. We are of course going to work on fluidity of the spine through things like flexion, extension, lateral side bending and twisting, but our focus today is on the integrity and the strength of the spine so that we can aim to keep those messages flowing from the body to the brain and brain to the body freely and happily. To do that, we want to engage something called the deep core line, a long unbroken chain of muscle in the body, which is why we start with the breath, because it involves our breathing diaphragm. It can be very powerful. It will be a warming practice, but it is a short practice. We are just going to begin by being seated on our mat. Now, if you've got a lot of tightness in the hips, you could elevate the hips by sitting on a block and then just creating a few spinal waves here from side to side. Alternatively, you could take some circles. With any kind of practice that we do, it's a good idea to begin by checking in on the spine. It's integral to many of our practices. And then from here, we're going to seed into that small moment of stillness with our breath. So CSV breath, as it is known, is slightly different in that we use the inhale to prepare for our movement rather than to move into any kind of shape. But it's about softening down and neutralizing in the body so that we can go a little bit deeper to connect to those muscle groups closest to the spine. So if this is quite new for you, bring the hands to the belly. As you take a breath in, we're going to take the breath into the belly and allow for this little bit of softness, and maybe just draw the hands away from one another. And as you exhale, we're going to engage from the pelvis up into center. And again, you might like to draw and engage the hands into this so that we can kind of seed that spark and that element that we want to create that structure, control, and integrity. So inhale, soften down. And exhale, draw in and up. So again, we're working on the exhale just to engage the bathroom muscles, if you will, before we connect into center and draw long through the spine. Last couple here. Inhale, soften. Exhale, hug and lift. And then release that with a little bit of movement. Release yourself from your block. If you are sat on one, we're going to take a few cat-cows here to work with movement of the spine. So hands to knees. Inhale, draw the chest forwards, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, hug in, round out through the upper back and shoulders, and just drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, draw forwards, and exhale, round out through and extend through that top back line of the body, the upper back and the shoulders. We'll take one more. And then neutralize back to center. From here, take a breath in, draw the arms up. And as you exhale, take a small twist over to one side. So opposite hand to opposite knee. Inhale back through center and exhale over to the opposite side. Just work with your breath rhythm. So one movement for one breath. Draw the arms back up to center and then release them down to your sides. So we are going to use those muscles and start to build up heat in the body from the inside out. You're going to bring the feet in front of you and plant the feet down on the floor and bring the hands behind you. We're going to come up onto active finger pads, fingertips facing forwards, and just draw the feet up in front of you. So keeping the spine engaged, so we're not dumping into the low back. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. So inhale and draw back a little bit. And as you exhale, draw the knees apart, lift the chest. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, lift. And we're going to do 3 more of those. And if this feels pretty comfortable for you, we're going to look into exploring just coming up a little bit more. So you can draw the knees together for a moment, maybe even tap the toes down. Fingertips now come behind the backs of the thighs. So inhale, draw back. Exhale, squeeze and lift. So I'm going to do another 4 more of those. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there for 3, 2, 1. Tap the toes down this time and just butterfly the knees. Just free off the hip flexors a little bit. Okay, so you can stay where you are. We've got another 5 to do. So remember, you can always tap the fingertips down, hands behind the backs of the thighs, or you could come into this modification here and just see how you feel about that. Inhale, slide back. Exhale, squeeze and lift. So with control, maintaining the stability of your low back. So we want form over ego here for a moment. So if you feel like that's not working out for you, remember you can bring the hands behind the backs of the thighs. And 1 more. This time we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees together, tap the toes down. Maybe just bring the hands around the front of the shins and lift and open up through the spine. So there will hopefully be a little bit of warmth generated through the body here. So we're going to increase that just a little bit more now. So fingertips or toes up, not fingertips. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, slowly rock and roll down. Inhale, take the fingertips overhead, feet towards the sky, and exhale, catch hold of the back of the thighs. Slow rock and roll up with control. Maybe the toes tap down. We're going to do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, slowly rock and roll down. Reaching the arms up overhead, feet to the sky. And then exhale, another rock and roll. You could choose this time as you come through this movement to float the hands by the sides like so, but it's entirely up to you. Toes touch down, just as you did before, lift and extend long through the spine. So we're going to try a quicker set of rock and rolls now. So that was 3 slow ones. We're moving into 3 fast ones. And on our third one, we're maybe going to plant the feet, maybe hands free, to come up into a forward fold. So with me, drawing up, quicker rock and roll. So up towards the top of the mat. That's 1. That's 2. Plant the feet, draw forwards, lift with control into this forward fold. Just take a breath here. Maybe bounce and wave the spine. So inhale to prepare, bend the knees. Exhale, you're going to draw the spine long, so lift the belly, send the palms to the sky. And this time, on your inhale, bend the knees, send the hips back. You're going to come up into this modified chair shape. So drawing into center, again, to kind of strengthen that low back area. And soften on the inhale. Exhale, lift, coming back into this halfway lift, high-fiving the sky. And then releasing and extending back into this modified chair. I'm going to do that 1 more time. Soften on the inhale, exhale, halfway lift, high five the sky. Soften on the inhale, sweep it round, draw into this modified chair, and then release into your forward fold. From here, we're going to step the right foot back, just making sure, coming up onto active finger pads as well, that we've got a little bit of movement, so rock back and forwards. I'm going to come into a little bit of a twisted side lunge here, so inhale, bend everything, and as you exhale, draw the right arm, or the left arm, sorry, towards the sky. Inhale, soften the back knees, sweep that arm down and around. Exhale, open and extend. So keeping a little bit of fluidity of movement to explore the shape, and then considering where you want to end up in that shape. Draw that arm back down and around. And just take a small rock and roll there, plant the hands, take a breath and step it back into a downward facing dog. A couple of small spinal waves or bounces to kind of settle in. We're going to come up and over. So inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, lift the heels, hug into the belly. Wave up and over, extend long into a plank pose. Drop the knees when you arrive. Untuck the toes. Soften the elbows so you can lower down pelvis first all the way to the earth. We're going to bring fingertips out to the side and rock the hips from side to side here just to release the low back. Coming into this playful cobra. So shoulders are lifted. Inhale, lift the hips just a little bit to prepare. Exhale, push the hips through into the mat. And rising up, chest, shoulders drop as the neck and head come up. Take a breath and release all the way back down. We're going to do 2 more of those. So inhale, create some space in the pelvis. Exhale, connect, rising up. Doesn't matter how high you come, depending on when you're doing this practice. Reframe the hands, tuck the toes, take a breath, come back through the knees and up into your downward facing dog. We're going to take a little walk up towards the top of the mat, planting the feet. Inhale to halfway lift here. Exhale, release back into that forward fold, this time stepping the left foot back. Again, coming up onto active finger pads. Making sure we've got a little bit of movement so we're not overextended. And then from here, inhale, soften down. Exhale, open out through that side body, enjoying the twist. And then we can create some movement. Option to use a block if you would like. Inhale, soften down. Exhale, open out and extend. So whatever helps you with the movement and the shape, whether your palm is flat, whether you're using active finger pads like me or the block should you wish. Bring it back down and around. Plant the hands. Step it back into that downward facing dog. And again, one last up and over into those cobra waves. So just take a moment to prepare. Soften. Wave through the spine. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, lift the heels, hug into the belly, rise up and over. Exhale, extend long into that plank shape, drop the knees, untuck the toes, soften the elbows, come all the way down. Fingertips come out, so up onto those active finger pads, rock the hips from side to side. Inhale, lift the hips to prepare. Exhale, push through, rise up, extend up into your cobra shape. Take a breath, release back down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, rise up. You could play with this. You could take the gaze off to one side. Come back to center, wave down. Maybe you can go the opposite side next time. And then from here, reframe the hands. Tuck the toes, draw the elbows in, lift to come back through the knees, back up into this downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna just move that activation of the deep core line to the top, which as it ends on the very tip of your tongue. So we're just gonna take one lion's breath here. So take a breath in and then stick the tongue out. And then take a walk up towards the top of your mat. Come into this forward fold, slowly lowering down with control. Drawing the feet out in front of you. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, slowly come all the way back down. We're going to come into a bridge wave to finish off today, to reset the pelvis. So just lift the hips and bring them back down to create that nice low back to earth connection. Walk the feet back towards your bottom a little bit. And then from here, palms down. Inhale, lift the pelvis. And exhale, float it back down. Keep the chin lifted a little bit. Don't try not to draw it into the chest. We don't want to pull on the neck spine. And exhale, release. I'm going to do one more just like that. So inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then we're going to do another 3, but using the arms. So on the inhale, you're going to draw the arms up overhead. And exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, release. Last one. You might choose to just windshield wipe with the knees here, or just to keep that connection to the spine, draw the knees towards you, have a little roll around, massage the low back spine. And then you can take this last gentle rock and roll up, back into your easy seat so that you can continue your day, whatever it is you are choosing to do next. Thank you for joining me today for this small practice that was focused on the spine. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon.